If you're in the field or managing infrastructure, this is the conversation you want to be part of. Let's start with a case that brings the issue of corrosion risk into sharp focus. A recent engineering assessment zeroed in on a pipeline at the Boundary Lake unit, originally constructed in 1986. After nearly 40 years of operation, it suffered accelerated internal corrosion, but not from what you'd expect. The root cause? Not a material flaw or neglected maintenance. It was upstream startup behavior. That's right. The way a nearby well was brought online sent a surge of liquids and sludge through the system. Biomass, debris, water, all of it hitting the steel like a chemical sledgehammer. What's wild is this corrosion wasn't predictable from historical data. It was a sudden, localized, and highly aggressive failure. And that raises an important question. Are we catching the early warning signs or missing them until it's too late? The operators responded with a multi-pronged mitigation strategy. Consideration of inline inspection, ILI, if they can find a tool compatible with the pipe. Water purges immediately following well startups to clear out debris before it settles. A regional review of other pipelines at risk from similar startup-induced slugging. This isn't just reactive, it's proactive learning applied across the system. But let's shift gears. Not all reactivations follow a corrosion event. In another case, a pipeline abandoned in 2015 is being brought back online. Not because it failed, but because demand and strategy changed. And here's where things get innovative. Rather than replacing the steel pipe, they're installing a freestanding spooled composite liner inside the original pipeline. Think of it as a pipe within a pipe. This composite liner handles all pressure containment, is naturally corrosion resistant, uses the steel pipe as a protective casing. It's a modern solution to extend the life of existing infrastructure. And it works because natural gas service, unlike oil emulsion or produced water, creates less mechanical stress and avoids corrosive byproducts. Next, let's talk about a plastic pipeline reactivation in the Whitecourt field. Originally built in 2004 and abandoned in 2015, this one's made of HDPE, high-density polyethylene. Corrosion? Not an issue. It's chemically inert and naturally resistant. Even with one weld failure during construction, the overall risk classification is low. Their reactivation plan? A robust hydrostatic test, followed by routine visual monitoring. No special treatments, no inhibitors, no cathodic protection. It's a case study in how pipeline material fundamentally changes the integrity strategy. So what can we learn from these three very different stories? First, pipeline failures don't happen in a vacuum. Something happening upstream, a change in flow, a startup procedure, can unleash corrosive threats with shocking speed. It reinforces the need for holistic thinking. Not just the pipeline, but the entire system around it. Second, reactivations are not all equal. Some require high-stakes inspection, others benefit from new materials and design strategies. But in every case, success comes down to one thing: understanding risk. And that brings us to the technology enabling this understanding. Inline inspection tools can now detect sub-millimeter defects. AI-driven platforms like TRIAGE by AbaData provide pipeline operators with risk scores based on over-life exposure, operational history, terrain, fluid behavior, and more. The result: data-backed decisions. You're not guessing whether to pig, hydrotest, or replace. You're planning based on validated risk models and years of precedent. Across the board, we're seeing a shift to smart corrosion management, preventive integrity planning, and engineering assessments that are field-aware, AI-supported, and regulator-ready. At TPA, we've helped produce EA reports on everything from steel oil emulsion lines at high temp to HDPE fuel gas laterals to composite-lined reactivations. And in each case, it's the same goal: keep the line safe, reliable, and operating within known, acceptable risk. That's the future of pipeline operations. Smarter insights, faster reporting, better field alignment, and a commitment to staying proactive, not reactive. Thanks for joining us for this episode.